This film is dedicated to Miss Grossman from all of us. And we just wanted to thank you so much for listening. Action!
Peace.
Go.
The first sensation this book should convey is what I feel when I hear the telephone ring. I say should because I doubt that words can give me even a partial idea of what it is. It is not enough to declare that my reaction is one of refusal of flight from this aggressive and threatening summons. It is also a feeling of urgency, intolerableness, coercion that impels me to obey. The injunction of that sound rushing the answer, even though I am certain that nothing will come of it save suffering and discomfort. Nobody these days knows the feeling of being struck by an arrow. We all believe we can easily imagine it, the sense of being helpless without protection in the presence of something that pushes us from alien and unknown spaces, and this also applies very well to the ring of the telephone. All around me there are only inert objects, including the telephone, a space that apparently cannot contain anything but me, isolated in the interior time, and then there is the interior interruption of the continuity of time. The space is no longer what it was before because it is occupied by the ring. And my presence is no longer what it was before because it is conditioned by the will of this object that is calling. The book would have to begin by conveying all this not merely immediately, but as a diffusion through space and time of these rings that last through the continuity of space and time. Well, perhaps the mistake lies in establishing that at the beginning I and a telephone are in a finite space such as my house would be, whereas I must communicate it as my situation with regard to numerous telephones that ring. The telephones are perhaps not calling me, have no relation to me, but the mere fact that I can be called to a telephone suffices to make it possible, or at least conceivable, that I may be called by a telephone. For example, when the telephone rings in a house near mine, and for a moment I wonder if it is ringing in my house, suspicion that immediately proves them found, but which still leaves no wake since it is possible for the call to be really for me and through a wrong number across wires. Or else when I am out on the streets and I hear a telephone ring in a strange house, even when I am in strange cities and cities where my presence is unknown to anyone, even there, hearing a ring, my first thought every time for a fraction of a second is that the telephone is calling for me. I'm sorry, pause it. Still running, I push open the gate, enter the yard, circle the house, explore the ground behind a dash behind the garage, to the tool shed, the doghouse, everything is deserted, an MP3 number, open window in a rear room can be seen in disorder, the telephone on the table continuing to drain the shutter signs, the window room is caught in a tattered curtain. I have circled the house 3 times, I continue to perform the movements of jogging, raising elbows and heels, breathing with rhythm of my run, so it is clear that my intuition is not that everything. If they caught me at this moment, I would have a hard time explaining that I came in here because I heard the telephone ring and dog barks not here. It is a dog of another house that cannot be seen, but for a moment the signal barking dog is stronger than me than the ringing telephone, and this is enough to open a passage in the circle that was holding me prisoner there. Now I resume running among the trees along the street, leaving behind me increasingly muffled sound. The more I turn these thoughts over in my head as I run down the hill, the more I seem to hear the telephone ring again. It grows more and more clear and distinct. There I am again in the sight of the house, and the telephone is still ringing. I enter the garden, I go around behind the house, I run to the window. I have only to reach out and pick up the receiver. Breathless, I say, "He's not here." And from the receiver, a voice a bit vexed, but only a bit, for what is most striking about this voice is its coldness, its calm. It's saying, "Now you listen to me. Marjorie is here. She'll be waking in a little bit, but she's tied up and can't get away. Right down this address carefully, 115 Hillside Drive. If you come to get her, okay. Otherwise, there's a can of kerosene in the basement, a charge of plastic attached to a timer in half an hour. This house will go up in flames." But I'm not. I begin to answer. They have already hung up. Still making running movements, I stop Lord Clipper and I ask her to step to. The Clipper girl blinks. "Marjorie, she hasn't shown up for 2 days. Why? I have already run off. I leave the campus. I take her Grossman Avenue, then Cedar Street, then Maple Road. I am completely out of breath. I am running only because I cannot feel the ground beneath my feet or my lungs in my chest. Here is Hillside Drive. 11, 15, 27, 51. Thank God the numbers go fast. Skipping from one decade to the next. Here's 115. The door is open. I climb the stair to enter a room. Inside my darkness, there is Marjorie tied on a civic act. I release her. She vomits. She looks at me with contempt. "You're a bastard," she says to me. You're seated at a cafe table reading the satisfying novel Mr. Kipling has lent you and waiting for Ludmilla. Your mind is occupied by 2 simultaneous concerns, the interior one with your reading and the other with Ludmilla.
Look around, you're paranoid. Chloe, why are you in the shot?
We know.
So good.
That was amazing.
Hold on.
Do you mind if I turn it? Because my head kind of hurts from turning it like that.
Now Laura's out of it.
He thinks Sophie.
Wait.
You can go in the bloopers section.
These will be the back
outtakes.
It's still recording. Ahorita, nosotros vamos a ir en 5 minutos.
Okay.
¿Está bueno?
Muy bien.
Okay, gracias.
Failed Spanish. It's not mine.
You bastard!
2, 3. Thank you for watching. That was good.